Hey everyone, and we're going to teach, I'm going to show you how we use alert dialogues in Android Studio or and Android development. So what we're going to do, there's two parts what we're going to do. The first part, I'll show you the basic creation of a alert dialogue and how we show it and how we add actions to it. And then in the next part, I'll show you how we make it more usable, like in validations and stuff like that. So in the first part, we're just going to show you how to create an ad. When you click on the back button, it says, are you sure you want to quit or not? And after that, we'll do the other example. So I'm going to create a new application, new project. And I'm going to call, it's an empty app. I'm going to call this Alert1. Okay, AlertDialog 1. And then make sure it is Java, and that's it. Okay, click on next. So I got my Java class, and all our work will happen in the Java class. Okay, let me make sure it's smaller. The first thing I want to do is that I want to add the on back button press, the on back pressed. Okay, now this is the super on back. I'm going to delete it so I can take control of the on back press myself. Okay, so I'm going to delete this, and then if you don't do that, that means it will call the super and it will exit the application. I don't want that. I want it to be able to control exiting the application myself. So the first step when you want to display a dialog is that you create a dialog builder. So you create a dialog builder. And the dialog builder, I want to make sure that I'm actually, the dialog builder, its job is to create the dialog properties, the dialog text, the dialog, everything related to the dialog. And then the next step is to create, after that you create the dialog, you create the actual dialog and you show it. How do we create a dialog builder? So you say alert dialog builder, alert dialog, and then dot builder. And then you will say, so I'm going to call that builder, and then this is equal to alert dialog builder. And then you need to pass the context of where this dialog will appear. So I'm going to say, since we're displaying it in the main activity, it will be main activity dot this, which means this class. So that's to create the dialog. After that, you set the property of the dialog. So second, you say set properties of the spelling of the dialog builder. What do we do in here? We can set stuff like this. Set, for example, builder. We use the object that we've created before, dot set title, okay? Okay, did we call it? Yeah, builder dot set title. And that will give you the title of the alert dialog. So we're going to say alert, whatever you want to call it here. That's one property. The other property that you can do is the message itself. What do you want to send a message? So builder dot set message. And then here you will put the message that you want to display. Are you sure you want to quit? Are you sure you want to quit? Exit. All right, and that would be the message. The other thing that you want, there's something called builder dot cancelable or not. Set cancelable or not. Show yani cancelable or not. Cancelable mean that if I click on the outside of the screen, outside the dialog, it will cancel. So I'm going to make it true first, and I'll show you the effect of that, and then I'll make it false and show you the other, show you what effect that does have. The other thing that you can have is that you will have here um, um, you can have here for the third step usually is that you set your action button, your actions. Okay, so we will do that the next part. Not the next part, after we tested it. So the next thing I'm going to do, alert is misspelled here. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create the actual dialogue and displaying it. So first you create the builder, you set the properties of that builder, you set the actions if you have any actions, then you create the dialogue using the builder. And display it. All right, so how do we do that? So I create the alert dialog, alerts equal builder dot create, and that will create the actual dialog. Then the last part is that alert dot show. So this will show me the dialog. All right. So those are the steps that you need to do in order to create a dialog box. Now you can say, somebody would say, well, there's a lot of steps every time I want to create a dialog and show it and show a message. It's true. That's why in the next video, I'll show you how to make this process much, much easier. So now if I click on this, if I run this application, what will happen? What will happen here, when I click on the back button, I will get that dialog. And then now, because I set cancelable equal to true, if I click here, that dialog is gone. Now, if I change this to false, and then if I run it again, false is misspelled, of course, so let's make that false, actual false, okay? So let's run it again, and then go in here. Now notice what happens. Now if I click on back, I cannot, if I click in here, that stays in place. So I'm gonna stop the application from here. So that's how you create the builder, and then create the actual dialog, and then you show it. Now in the next part, I'm going to show you how to create buttons related to the dialog and show them on the dialog. So in the builder, there is something called set positive button, all right? In the set positive button, it takes a text, a title, so you can say, are you sure you want to quit? Yes. The other thing is that a new action related action listener for the positive button that you click. So there's something called new dialog. It appears the first one here at the beginning. So you double click on it, and it created for me the dialog listener and the on-click method that when you click on that dialog listener, it will take. So one of the things that you will actually receive is the actual dialog. So I'm going to call it dialog for short, all right? And cancel this. I mean, finish this example. So what happens when you click on yes? What happens, I'm going to say, I'm going to call it, I'm going to say finish. I finished the application. The next thing I want to do, what if they click on no, right? So you can say the same thing. You can copy this, or you can type it again. So builder.set negative button. Again, you need a title. You say no. Again, you need the action listener. So new dialog interface, action listener on click. And what do we do in this case? Because I set this to cancelable no, that means I can cancel it myself. And I'm going to change this to dialog. And here I can say cancel the dialog. Okay. So that dialog will disappear. All right. So this is how we add and trap the actions when we want to, when we display the dialog. So you have one thing called set positive button and one thing called set negative button. Now, the finish, it actually finishes the application. So instead of doing it in the super, remember when we deleted the super call to the super function or method, you can do it yourself and finish the application here. Now, what will happen if we run it? If we run it, what will happen? You will get a button here. You will get a button when you click on this, you will get this alert. If you say no, you stay here. If you click on this, then you will exit the application. All right, is this clear? So this is how you do an alert and how you use it within the on-back press. All right, any questions on this? Let me pause for a minute.